Kenya has traditionally been a tea-drinking nation, and the saying, "anytime is tea time," is one that resonates with many a Kenyan. Enter coffee, a drink that is gradually gaining ground and challenging the status quo. During an annual barista championship in Nairobi, retailers of the commodity expressed satisfaction over changing trends in consumption patterns.
When we started having this competition, probably about 2005-2006, coffee was probably enjoying about 2 or 2.5% of the percentage consumption on beverage tables. Kenya was pretty much a tea-drinking nation, and people, even the ones who said they were drinking coffee, were probably taking imported instant coffees. However, over time we have had education, they have had many more coffee shops opening up, and I think a lot more people have gotten knowledgeable in terms of what's good coffee and demand it, and in that way we have seen consumption grow over the years. I think we've had a growth of about between 15 and 20% year on year.
While the drink's popularity is rising, coffee plantations along the periphery of the capital are being edged out by real estate developments, a factor that investors in the property market attribute to high demand for housing.
Nairobi is growing at a very fast rate, and given the population that's urbanizing, there is no doubt that Nairobi is getting chock-a-blocked in terms of the number of available units within the city. And that has made people have to look for areas outside within the actual zone of Nairobi to look for places where they can actually live. Now, the roads that are being done, the infrastructure that's being built and that has been built in the last, let's say, 4 or 5 years, is helping people access areas which were not accessible before. And that drive has made it possible for people to now start looking for areas which they can live in away from the city set of Nairobi, a radius of 20, even 30, 40 kilometers out of Nairobi, to where they can make their new homes. That is what is driving the demand towards anything around Nairobi to be gobbled up by the housing estates.
Meanwhile, players in the coffee industry have employed aggressive campaigns to further encourage domestic consumption.
With all the stakeholders in the industry, this is one of the events that we are having. We'll be soon having road shows going around in Meru, in Nyeri, in Kiambu, trying to promote and sensitize people on good quality coffee. If we can be able to create a demand locally for the coffee, we're going to push up prices and make sure our farmers have comfortable return throughout the year.
With the growing middle class who fuel consumption, the future of the country's coffee culture seems to be brightening.
Coffee consumption in Kenya will continue to grow as Kenya grows its economy. Historically, we know that coffee is drunk in wealthier economies as people move from tea to coffee consumption, and I think Kenya will definitely develop in that direction over the coming 5 to 10 years.
Kenya's coffee is one of the most sought after in the world, but local consumption still remains quite low. Industry experts believe that the answer to increasing local consumption perhaps lies in the creation of more awareness. For Eye on Kenya, I'm Claire Modenji.